Hello guys, Recount here, and today I'll be showing you a basic PvE Fury Warrior guide. I'll show and tell what to gem, enchant, reforge, macros, add-ons, and of course the rotation. So let's get started. Now the add-ons I use are tidy plates, which is the enemy raid frames that also show your debuffs as like deep wounds and stuff on top. The scrolling on the side is mic scrolling text. The font changer is called FontDamageChanger, I think, or font damage or something like that. I'll put the add-ons in the description. And then I use Recount for my damage meter. And then I use Deadly Boss mods for rating. Now the stat priorities you're going to go for as a Fury Warrior are going to be hit over expertise, over crit, over mastery. You want to reforge to 7.5% hit, and then get 7.5% expertise. Once you get those to your soft caps, you're going to go for 20 to 22% crit. If you manage to get that, which is pretty tough to get until you're like fully geared, you're going to go for 20% mastery. Now gymming, you're going to go pretty much crit to everything. For blues, you're going to go for 160 crit, 160 hit. Yellows, 320 crit. If you're a jewel crafter, go for 480 crit. Reds, if it has 2 sockets, go for 160 expertise, 160 crit. If it has 1 socket, go for 160 strength. Now enchanting, it's pretty much self-explanatory. You're not going to get intellect or agility as a warrior. You're going to go for strength, of course. Get strength, crit, shoulders. Go for whatever you need here. If you need hit rating, go for hit. If you need crit rating, go for crit. Stats to chest. Go for strength to bracers if you can afford it. I went for master here because they're just blues, but you can, if you can afford it, get strength. I have Windsong here because I can't afford Dancing Steel for Raid Finder weapons and then replace them and then have to buy Dancing Steel again. Strength to gloves, put a socket in your belt, and then put crit in that belt after you do that. Go strength and crit pants, and pander and step to boots, which is 140 mastery and minor speed. Now, that's it for gearing, so next is going to be talents, glyphs, macros, and the rotation. The talents that you're going to be using as a single-minded Fury Warrior are Double Time and Second Wind. You're always going to use those. Piercing Howl is nice for some fights, but my group has a lot of slows, but I'd just like to have Disrupting Shout for the fact that I can interrupt more and I can AoE interrupt. And Bladestorm to me is better than Dragon War because you can use it as a filler for if you don't have enough rage to hit a button, or if you're not getting any enrage procs. And you can use it with Bladestorm or Bloodbath, and it will do 1,000 times more DPS than Dragon War will do for AoE. Safeguard, I like it because you can get out of like roots or something from like Stone Guard. You can get to a party member quicker if you're like, say, dropping off a debuff or something. And you can take a hit for a teammate and reduce their damage by 20%. Lastly, Bloodbath. I took that here because it's a 1 minute cooldown, so you can use it several times throughout a fight instead of like 2 or 3 times. As Avatar, you don't do that. Bloodbath has more damage, like, output than Avatar does, and is a less cooldown. It doesn't last as long though, but that's fine. The 1 minute cooldown makes up for it. Stormbolt's nice, but it can be parried. You can miss if you're not hit capped. And it scales better with Titan's Grip in my opinion. On to Glyphs. You're gonna get Unending Rage, and you're gonna get Death from Above. Unending Rage is good here because for the fact that you can use 1 or 2 more heroic strikes when you're dumping rage than you would if you only had 100 rage. And Death from Above, yeah, you can just heroically out of stuff a lot more frequently, and it does a lot more damage to AoE mobs when you're doing that. I took Bull Rush as my third one. This is the optional one, because you can heroic leap out of stuff, charge back in, Bloodthirst, and then auto attack, and it will give you like 50 more rage. But you can switch Bull Rush out for Raging Wind, Recklessness, and or Colossus Smash if you don't have a tank or someone that can stack Sunders. So that's it for talents and glyphs. Now for DPS. The first thing you want to do is you want to keybind your abilities. You can find key bindings in your game menu, key bindings, and it's pretty much there. Make sure it's on character specific, and pretty much keybind whatever you feel is more comfortable for your character, or for not your character, but for you. Don't make, like out of the wazoo key bindings that will screw you over if you hit them incorrectly. The reason I say this is because key binding is a lot quicker than clicking. For example, if I were to click my abilities and this was a boss, if this boss did an AoE or some ability that I had to move out of the way, I'd have to move a lot. It takes a lot more time out of DPSing and and moving. If I were to, have my abilities keybinded, I can attack a lot faster, I can move more frequently, it's just a lot easier to get out of stuff. I could heroic leap away, charge in a lot quicker than I would if I were to cast an ability. Not cast an ability, but click an ability. Now, onto the rotation, really. The first thing you want to do is you want to always be in battle stance. The reason is because you generate more rage through battle stance now, because battle stance gives you more rage off white hits. When you get to learn warriors a lot better, you can stance a little bit in some fights that have frequent AoE, like the first boss in Heart of Fear. When you're hiding under the shells, you can go berserker stance and it'll generate a lot more rage than you would if you were in battle, because you're taking damage every second. But other than that, you want to stay in battle stance. Now the way you're going to use your buttons is you're going to prioritize Bloodthirst and Colossus Smash over everything. Always use Bloodthirst and Colossus Smash when they're off cooldown. Use Raging Blow every time it procs, and use Wild Strike every time you have charges. You're only going to use Heroic Strike when you have 70 or more rage, and when you're at 90 to 120 rage, you're going to use Dilly Calm, and you're going to spam Heroic Strike to about 30 rage. When you get to about 30 rage, you're going to go back to using Wild Strike, and you're only going to use Wild Strike when you're below 70 rage. This way you won't rage drive yourself. Use Berserker Rage if you're not getting in rage procs, or you're low on rage, and then use Blade Storm if you're low on rage, and Berserker Rage is on cooldown, and if you have no procs. Now to test out the DPS rotation that we just went over. Alright, the first thing you want to do when a fight starts is you want to make sure you got your food buff, your flask, and that you have that you pre-pot. Pre-pot is a potion that increases your strength and therefore increasing your DPS at the start of the fight. If you don't pre-pot, then you can only use one pot per fight. Instead, if you pre-pot, you can pretty much use 1.5, maybe 2, depending on how you time your pre-pot. So let's try it out. You're gonna battle shout, pre-pot, and the tank's gonna go in, then you're gonna go in. And then you just pretty much do the rotation, as I said before. when you feel that your tank has enough threat, you can pop your cooldowns. And you just pretty much, you know, spam away. You Sword Strike above 70 rage, Wild Strike below that. So yeah, I had Wild Strike charges and Raging Blow, and I just used Raging Blow over those Wild charges because, well, you know, does more damage. I didn't get a proc there, so I Berserker Rage to get that proc. Now, my Potion of Monkey Power just came up, but my Bloodbath's about to come up, so I'm just going to wait for Bloodbath and use those both together for more DPS. And there it is, so I'm going to pop them both. Didn't get a proc, so I'm going to pop Berserker Rage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything up right now, so I'm gonna pop Blade Storm. This is a good way to get your DPS up. And you can also Battle Shout in that Blade Storm too, which is nice because it doesn't really cost a global, really, because you're already Blade Storming anyway. I don't have any rage really, so, and nothing's up, so I'm gonna Heroic Loop away, and I pretty much get like half a rage bar. And yeah, that's pretty much free warrior DPS for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this little guide. Hope it helped you guys. Good luck to all you other free warriors out there. Take care, and later.